Today on Commander Replay, we're back with some more Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. Can Syr Gwyn steal herself another Assault Suit victory? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 2 new Patreon supporters in Brandon Drennan and Colin Mead. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. We are back with some more Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. Little bit risky on this opening hand. We don't have a great way to get to this Smothering Tithe yet. Land count's a little low in this deck. It's about 36. Steel Shaper's Gift can get us things. Think we try it. A lot of cool stuff in our hand, things that I like. Like if we get to the Smothering Tithe, then we should be in pretty good shape. Ooh, there's a Bloodchief Ascension. If we don't, then we could be in some trouble. There is a K&T at the table, so if they get into play nice and early, then, you know, we might get an extra card draw somewhere, which propel us into those lands that we need. Brings us back to our turn. There's the 3rd land, so there's a Marsh Flats. Play the Marsh Flats. We will crack the Marsh Flats, and we'll get Mistveil Plains tapped, and pass the turn like that. Here comes a Nature's Lore for the K&T. Yep. Brings it back to our turn. There's an Open the Armory. Let's play Sacred Foundry untapped. Let's play Open the Armory. We'll grab Sword of the Animist, because we want to get that going just as soon as we possibly can. Oh, yep, I forgot. Playing the Sacred Foundry untapped does make us lose 2 life, which puts a counter on the Bloodchief Ascension. That is not amazing. We'll want to be very, very careful with that. Don't yet have any of our removal in hand. We do have a lot of Voltron-y things, though. There's a Thought Vessel for opponent. That's a card that I forgot to put in the deck between games. Cabal Coffers for the Syr Konrad. Interesting also running Crypt of Agadeem. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's a card that I've looked at for a very long time, but you need to be playing a very specific deck for Crypt of Agadeem to actually be good. You got probably going to be some sort of self-mill, maybe an Abzan, Carador kind of thing, but doesn't find too many homes outside of that style of play. So brings it back to our turn. Chromatic Lantern in for our opponent. Yep, they can make any color. Also a Black Jet Medallion in for the Konrad. But we draw our 4th land, and yeah, what are we doing? Next turn's obviously going to be the Smothering Tithe. I think this turn is going to be Godless Shrine tapped and get the Sword of the Animist in play. Maybe we should have let him Blackblade Reforged just because if, like, if anyone has artifact removal, they're going to shoot it at the Blackblade Reforged because that card just gets scarier and scarier as the game goes on. There's a Scroll Rack for the Will and Rowan opponent. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Interestingly, Assault Suit is an interesting way to give your commander haste. As I've talked about a little bit in some of the other videos, haste is a thing that you want for Syr Gwyn, and, you know, Assault Suit is just another way to get haste. Also gives you Can't Be Sacrificed if people want to play those pesky Fleshbag Marauder type effects, so it's a card that I think is really slotting in well to this deck, and you can do the whole thing where you give it to someone else, and they can potentially kill your opponents for you, so pretty sweet card. I'm so happy that it's found a home in this deck because I've been wanting to use Assault Suit for a long time, and there aren't a lot of decks that can really support the 4 and the 3 that it costs to get it going, especially with how quick Commander's gotten these days. There's a Selvala Explorer Returned coming in for the K&T opponent. Yeah, that always makes me nervous. Here's a Blasphemous Act in case we need to blow some stuff up. So let's play the Arid Mesa, crack the Arid Mesa, get a Plateau, play the Smothering Tithe. Feel pretty good this is going to resolve and not get shot immediately. Unfortunately, Scroll Rack is a put and not a draw, so will not trigger our Smothering Tithe. Always makes me sad. Take a look at what our opponents are playing, by the way. First up, we have Champion of Thune piloting Will Kenrith and Rowan Kenrith. A lot of interesting abilities between those two, but the deck does suffer just a teeny bit with both Planeswalkers being 6 mana. Just a bit clunky, a bit slow, but there are a lot of combo-y-esque things you can do with them. Opponent is going to crack their Myriad Landscape. The one that really gets you is the +2 on Will Kenrith. Until your next turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness 0/3 and lose all abilities. That one hurts. That's particularly bad if you're us and you're playing a Voltron deck and you may only have 1 or 2 creatures in play. So we're going to want to find our Champion's Helm or Lightning Greaves as soon as possible. I guess we do have a Steel Shaper's Gift, so that can get us one of those things. We're up to 2 treasure tokens, now on 6 mana. If opponent activates Selvala, that could get us a lot of mana. Ideally, I'd like to at least get Assault Suit in so we can get the haste on Syr Gwyn before we start doing anything, but really, as I'm thinking about it, I think we really want to get the Champion's Helm on there before we do much of anything else. Opponent did lay down a Perpetual Timepiece, a card that I looked at for the Angel Reanimator deck. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. It was a little underwhelming. For the same mana, you get Altar of Dementia, which just does so much more, because then you can also protect your creatures from spot removal. Swords and Path is a really big thing that you need to keep your creatures protected from in that deck, so ultimately I shifted away from it. And it's the kind of thing that, like, if you draw it late, it's not going to be able to mill you that much, where even if you draw Altar late, it's still reasonable. Also, it combos with Adarkar Valkyrie in that deck. It goes infinite, so... Opponent decides not to activate the Selvala because of the Smothering Tithe. Also doesn't cast their commander. Makes me sad. There's an Ugin. Okay. We don't have haste yet. We've got 7 mana total, so we're probably going to wait one more turn cycle before we really do much of anything. Play the Steel Shaper's Gift. I'm going to go for Swiftfoot Boots right here, just in case people don't draw as much as we want to. I mean, they might, and we might get all the extra tokens, but if we don't, I really want to get our commander in next turn and start getting down to business with it. So let's play the Swiftfoot Boots right here. And that'll also keep us protected from the Will Kenrith, so both of those are going to be really important. Could lay the Blackblade Reforged down right here for a treasure, but I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, if opponents start paying for the treasure tokens, which they might, there's a Hedron Archive in, got some ramp going on the Will and Rowan, but they don't pay right here, so good news for us. Here comes Tezzeret. Yeah, Tezzeret's a good one. Opponent's gonna activate Selvala. All right, here come the treasure tokens. Yeah. We get ourselves a land, 3 Smothering Tithe triggers. And opponent will pay for 1 treasure token, so we're up to 6 treasure tokens now, 10 total mana, 11 on our turn when we untap, assuming no more treasures. That is enough to get our commander plus Assault Suit plus Blackblade Reforged. Yeah. The thing we want right here, we want opponents to tap out. Ooh, Counterflux from the K&T opponent on the Tezzeret. They're thinking no on the Tezzeret. Opponents can activate Scroll Rack. We about to see a counterspell battle? Actually, that one can't be countered, right? Yeah, no, that spell can't be countered. Okay, yeah. No counterspell battle for the text of this spell can't be countered. Oops. Ooh, opponent's going to savor the moment. All right. No one tap step, though. So, yeah, it's fine. We'll get another treasure out of it. Gonna draw another card and play another land. Savor the moment, really weird. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. This seems like one of those occasions where it's not so good. Opponent drops a land, we get a treasure token, and they'll pass. But, I mean, if you're ahead, you got Planeswalkers in play, yeah, Savor the Moment can do some work. So, really kind of swingy in that sense. Syr Konrad into play. Yep. Gotta be careful of the combos. Opponent's gonna do the Perpetual Timepiece thing. Put the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard. They hit Phyrexian Tower and Siphon Mind. Yeah, they can mill those all they want. Totally fine with that. 9 treasure tokens. Doing pretty good in the treasure token department. There's a Colossus Hammer. If we are able to... Opponents are mostly tapped out. If there's no more counterspells out of K and T, we might be able to kill someone this turn. Oh, I'm giddy with excitement. Opponent activates a Selvala. Getting more treasure tokens. Gotta watch out for a Bane of Progress right here. That would be so disappointing. Opponent's got some mana. Removal will be bad. There's a Sakashima the Imposter. Okay. That's not a Cyclonic Rift or a Bane of Progress. Gonna make themselves a second Selvala. Sure. Leaves up 3 mana. Oh. Here comes a Birds of Paradise. Leaves up 2 mana. Alright. Alright, I'm getting excited. I think we're about to have a turn. I mean, we have so many treasures now that even if Syr Gwyn gets countered the first time, we can still recast it. There's a Dowsing Dagger. Play the Flooded Strand. Crack the Flooded Strand. We should not get a Shock Land because of the Bloodchief Ascension. Get Scrubland. Cast our commander. Get these boots on there before anything happens. Play this Colossus Hammer. Free equip that. Play this Blackblade Reforged. Free equip this Blackblade Reforged. Free equip this Sword of the Animist. Play this Assault Suit. Do we have Trample? I don't think we have Trample on our commander yet. Free equip the Assault Suit. Do we try and flip the Dowsing? Yeah, I mean, we should probably play the Dowsing Dagger, right? K&T's already got 2 blockers, so we'll probably give them the blockers. Oh, actually, no, there's not enough creatures in play for the... How many creatures in play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 creatures in play? We could Blasphemous Act and then kill the player of our choosing. I'm more worried about the blue player because they have turns and we really can't interact with turns, but they're also down to 4 cards. Ooh, this is tough. Maybe we kill the black player because we know they have combos and they've got 7 cards in hand. Oh, don't forget to free equip the Dowsing Dagger. Oh, this is tough. I think I'm going to go for the Syr Konrad because I know they're playing combo and they've got the full 7 cards. So we'll go to combat, send it in to Syr Konrad, Sword of the Animist, and Syr Gwyn will trigger. Oh, that's a Sunforger. Oh my. Oh my. Sword of the Animist, get ourselves a land. Let's grab a plains. Here's where the casual menace is going to come in. Opponent trying to block. Opponent takes 26 commander damage. Dousing Dagger will flip over. Cast Sunforger. Equip the Sunforger for free. Pass the turn like that, sitting on 2 treasures. Oh, this deck. This deck makes me so happy. This deck makes me so happy. Assault Suit triggers. Give opponent control of our creature. Oh man, I think because opponent controls our creature, if they Cyclonic Rift, then our creature would still stick in play. Oh yeah, that seems like really janky Cyclonic Rift protection. Opponent gonna send Syr Gwyn over to the K&T opponent. Unfortunately, we do not have enough evasion. We have only Menace at this moment in time. We do get a Sword of the Animist trigger, which is pretty sweet right here. More ramp for us. Let's get a red. But we don't have Trample yet, and that's going to be the next one we really want. And opponent gets to draw a card. That'll trigger the Smothering Tithe. Oh, man, it's almost like I planned all this out. I hadn't even thought about Smothering Tithe with Syr Gwyn and Assault Suit. That's getting pretty far down the line as far as interactions, but more treasures for us. Opponent's going to throw the 2 plant tokens in front. Yep, get rid of them plants. Opponent's going to scroll rack, sure. Oh, opponent's going to time stretch. Oh, man, I don't have anything for that. K&T, counterspell? Mana Drain, nice. Whew. Gonna get a lot of mana off that Mana Drain, but still, that's better than time stretch. Use the Assault Suit ability, give Syr Gwyn over to the K&T opponent. Smothering Tithe trigger for us, 1 more treasure. Opponent activates Selvala number 1, we draw a Sword of Feast and Famine, a sweet. Activates Selvala number 2, we draw a Strip Mine. Here comes Karamitra, God of Harvests, yeah. Here comes Iroas. This is a God Tribal deck. Nate's not usually a super heavy combat guy, so Iroas is a card that surprises me in one of his decks. Interestingly, if opponent can keep Karamitra and Iroas as creatures, then we need to find Trample, because we can't get through with Syr Gwyn. Though we have Sunforger, we can activate it and get Enlightened Tutor, which will get us something with Trample. Oh, we have Pro Green. Pro Green gets us by Karamitra. Here comes a Raf Capuchin. Gets a Karamitra trigger. Yep. Opponent's going to overload a Cyclonic Rift. Well, probably going to have to use the Teferi's Protection on that one. Unfortunately, we will lose all of our treasures. Activate Sunforger. Cast Teferi's Protection. Oh, actually, no. Our tokens won't get exiled. All right, cool. Even better. Forgot. Confuse Teferi's Protection with Eerie Interlude sometimes. I talk about the 2 interchangeably a lot, so... Oh, all of our equipments are gone now, so Syr Gwyn no longer has haste. Well, that's disappointing. So, brings back to our turn, all of our stuff phases back in. We can win right here. Yeah, we can win. Okay. We will win. Free equip Sunforger. Ooh, interesting. All the equipments came back in equipped to the creature. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen or not. Use the Sunforger. Cast Enlightened Tutor. Get Aggravated Assault, play a land, equip Sunforger, equip Feast and Famine, or play Feast and Famine, rather. We'll use some treasures. Swing over to the Will and Rowan opponent. We're going to say no on the Sword of the Animist so we don't shuffle our library. Or actually, we can just put it on the bottom. Sword of the Animist on the bottom and card draw on top. There we go. Playing smart. Smart magic. How about that? Draw the Aggravated Assault. Sword of the Animist will trigger. Get a mountain. Hit opponent for 34 commander damage. Sword of Feast and Famine will trigger. Suppose we could have used a few more lands. Lands will untap. Main phase 2. Play this Aggravated Assault. Use the Aggravated Assault. And just cuz we'll play the Blasphemous Act. Our commander well out of range of the Blasphemous Act. Go to combat. Swing for lethal. Sword of the Animist and Syr Gwyn will trigger. Inspiring Statuary. Sword of the Animist. Grab a land. This should do it. Boom! Down they go! Yeah, another Assault Suit. Another Assault Suit victory. That was 7 turns. And that was 7 turns. No Mana Crypt, no Soul Ring at the start. We got the Smothering Tithe on turn 4. That set us up pretty good, especially with opponent's card draw. And then we just laid the equipments out there. Oh man, I love this deck. I'm so building this deck in paper. Oh my. So far in 2 games, the Thornbite Staff is really unimpressive without the other half of the combo. The problem is in this deck there just aren't a lot of creatures, so to really kind of wipe the board, you would need both pieces. So I'm undecided about that in this particular build. The deck seems to be doing okay in card draw. I don't actually know that you need Painful Truths. This time we drew a lot of our equipments up front, which is really where you want to be. But yeah, in the second game, the deck played really, really well. Our opponent held up a counter spell. They could have countered our commander. Maybe they were counting the mana that we could have just recast it. Interesting that they held up the counter spell long enough on the time stretch, because that time stretch could have actually been a problem. I don't know how many things could have went wrong in the course of 2 turns right there, but I'm sure many. So I thought that was an interesting part of the game that they, chose not to counter our commander, though countering it, again, because we had so much mana, probably wasn't actually going to solve anything. So I think that was the correct play on their part. I just thought it was an interesting moment worth pointing out. But anyway, yeah, the deck's been playing pretty good so far, so I am really feeling it. Probably gonna have to make some tweaks at some point. Again, still trying to get the balance right on everything. Like I said, the Thornbite Staff maybe a little underperforming, but as the game goes later and there might be a lot of stuff to blow up, that's probably where you want to be. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.